Hello, today we are going to solve some non-calculator section questions. Okay, let's start with this question. Based on this system of equations, what is the value of x plus y? It seems a difficult question without calculator, but can we solve it without calculator easily? Yes, it's very obvious. What do you notice? He needs to know the value of x plus y. Okay, so you have two options. The first option is to solve this equation by elimination and get x or y, and then you can get the other. But this will take some time, and we need to solve it in less than 1 minute. So how can we do it? Can you see that here it is 15 and 10, and the difference is 5? And between 25 and 20, the difference also is 5. Okay, so why don't we subtract the second equation from the first equation? Okay, 15x minus 10x will be 5x. 25y minus 20y, positive 5y. 60 minus 25 will be 35. Okay, so here we have a common factor, which is 5 itself. So divided 5, divided 5, divided 5. Okay, so it will be x here plus y equal to 7. You see, we solved it in less than 30 seconds. Okay, let's go to the next question. If h is less than 0 and y is equal to 5, so which of the following is the value of h? First of all, we will substitute y by 5. So it will be square root 3h squared minus 2 minus 5 is equal to 0. So 3h squared minus 2 will be equal to positive 5, because we transferred negative 5 to the other side by positive 5. And then we will square the two sides to eliminate the square root. So it will be 3h squared minus 2 is equal to 25. And then we will move negative 2 by addition. So it will be 25 plus 2 is equal to 27. And then h squared will be equal to divided 3 will be equal to 9. So h will be equal to negative 3. Okay, that was very easy question. Let's move on to the next question. Which of the following is equivalent to this expression where I squared is equal to negative 1? Okay, we have here bracket 3i plus 3 times 5i minus 5. Okay. First of all, we will multiply each term here by each term here. Okay, so 3i times 5i, we will put here the answer. 3i times 5i will be 15i squared. And then 3i times negative 5 will be negative 15i. And then 3 times 5i will be equal to positive 15i. And then 3 times negative 5 will be equal to negative 15. Okay, so here we have 15i squared. I squared, if you saw I squared, you cancel it, and then you change the sign of the number, which is coefficient. 15 will be now negative 15. Okay, so here we have negative 15i plus 15i will be 0. Negative 15, negative 15, negative 30. So here is the answer. Okay. Let's move on to more difficult question. Let's try this one. Here we have AB minus C equal to 1, and AB over 6 is equal to 1. So what is the value of C? Okay, so I will 1, we will consider it over 1, and then we will make cross multiplication. So 6 will be multiplied by 1. So AB will be equal to 6. And then we will replace AB here by 6. So it will be 6 minus C equal 1. And then we will move 6 here. So it will be negative C equal to 1 minus 6. So negative C, it will be equal to negative 5. And then we will eliminate negative by negative. So C will be equal to 5. Moving on. Okay, here is the answer 5. 304. For I equal to square root negative 1, what is the value of 2 plus 3i times 5 minus 7i? As we did before, it's the same. So 2 times 5 will be 10. 2 times negative 7i will be negative 14i. 3i times 5 will be positive 15i. 3i times negative 7i will be negative 21i squared. Okay, so as we said before, if you saw I squared, just cancel it and change the sign of its coefficients. So it will be positive 21 now. Okay, 10 plus 21 is 31. So I don't have to continue. There is no 31 here. So C will be the answer. Okay, let's move on to a more difficult question. 306. During each of the last 3 baseball games, Joe hit D doubles and H home runs. Okay, if you see full stop, just wait and try to form an expression for this phrase. Okay, let's read it again. During each of the last 3 baseball games, Joe hit D doubles and H home runs. Okay, so in one game, he make D doubles and H home runs. Okay, so this is in one game. So the total number of doubles and home runs that Joe hit during these 3 baseball games, it will be what? It will be 3 times D plus H, because D plus H just represent one game. And 3 games will be 3 times. Okay, so this is our answer. Okay, let's move on to this question. Each week, Eric collects D daisies, of which he gives S to his sister and keeps the rest for himself. Okay, so the total that he collects is D, and he gives S, which means he will subtract S from D. Okay, and the rest will be with him. Okay, so the rest that will be with him will be D minus S. The D is the total collected, and S is what he gave to his sister. Okay, which of the following expressions represent the total number of daisies that Eric gives to his sister over the course of W weeks? Okay, so each time he gives his sister S, he gives his sister S. Okay, so in W weeks, he will give her what? He will give her SW. Let's say, for example, he give her 5, okay, each week, 5 days, okay, each week. So after 3 weeks, how many? So we will multiply the number of weeks, which is 3, by 5 to give us the number of days he will give his sister after 3 weeks. So that's the meaning of SW. S is the number of days he gives his sister, times W, the number of weeks he collected and sent to his sister. 308 is also related to this question. Okay, let's read it. Which of the following expressions represent the total number of days that Eric keeps for himself over the course of W weeks? Okay, so here we have, I think we said that he collects D days, okay, and then he give his sister S, okay, so he subtract S from the total, which is D, that he collects already. Okay, so it will be D minus S, which means the number of days that he keeps to himself. Okay, so is that's the number of days he keeps in just 1 week. Okay, what will be the number of days after W weeks? So we will multiply W by D minus S. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, let's read this question carefully. Okay, here we have Susan is a high school math teacher. Each week she receives 8 quizzes to grade from each of S students. Okay, and full stop. So she receives 8 quizzes to grade from each of S students. So that means Susan she receives 8 quizzes from each student from S students. Okay, so each student, if we have that, if we say that S students, let's say S is equal to let's say 20 students. Okay, so each one give her 8 quizzes to grade. Okay, to check, it means to check. Okay, so how many quizzes in total she has to grade? So it will be 20 times 8. 8 quizzes per student, and 20 is the number of students. So she will have to grade 20 times 8, which is 160 quizzes. Okay, and so this is, for example, to understand what is coming next. Okay, let's read the next. Okay, so we said that she will receive 8 quizzes from each one of S students, and the S represents the number of students. Assuming each week begins with no quizzes left over from the previous week. So now she has just the 8 quizzes from each one of the S students, okay? And there is no other additional quizzes, okay? So the number of quizzes that she has left to grade at the end of each day can be estimated like that. With this equation, Q equal 8S minus 10D, where Q is the number of quizzes and D is the number of days she has worked that week. Okay, we will explain that. But first, let's first read the first question. What is the meaning of, or what is the interpretation of the number 10? So before I read the choices, let me tell you this. This equation is a linear equation. Because it is linear equation, there is an interpretation. You have to understand to know how to solve a question like that. If you have equation written like this in this standard form, linear equation, ax plus by equal to c. You have to know this. You have to know that a and b, which are the coefficients, and c, they must be the same unit. There is no way they have to be the same units, okay? In our equation, it is written as q equal 8s minus 10d, okay? Q represents the number of quizzes as given, okay? I was told that the number Q, where Q is the number of quizzes. Great. So because Q is the number of quizzes, so 8 and 10 are also number of quizzes. Okay, but what is the main difference Q is the total number of quizzes left, okay? Because she started this week by 8 quizzes from each student from the S, so she has total of 8 S quizzes, okay? And she will grade 10 quizzes every day. So 10 quizzes will be subtracted from the 8S every day. So every day we can know the total number of quizzes left, which is Q. That's it. So 10 represents what? The number of quizzes Susan grades per day. That's it. Okay. You can pause the video and make it backwards and see and listen again. Okay. 310. Let's read it. If two students were to join her class, which of the following equations would show the revised number of quizzes left to grade each day? Okay, we have two students who they will be added to what? To the S students. Okay, so of course the choice will not be C, and of course it will not be D. Okay, now see, it is far away. Okay, why? Because when you add 2 to 10D, D is the number of days, and 10D represents the number of quizzes are graded every day. So this has no relation to students. Okay, so C is so far away. If we thought about D, okay, D, it says 10S instead of 8S. Okay, so we said before that 8 is the number of quizzes of each student. So now it will be 10 quizzes of each student. But he said in the beginning that if two students were to join, so D also is wrong. Okay, so here we have to think about A and B. Which one of them is correct? And what is the difference between bracket here and no bracket here? Okay, here, if we just added 2 here to this equation, so this will be interpreted as number of quizzes also. Okay, but here S plus 2 means what? That our students will be added by 2. Okay, so the answer will be B. Okay, let's move on to the next question. This question is about matching coefficients. Like what? Okay, let's check out this one. X plus 2 all bracket square. Okay, let's expand it. It will be x squared, 2 power 2 will be 4, and then x times 2 times 2 will be 4x. Okay, if we try to compare this expression by this expression, so we can say that x squared is the same as x squared. So we can match y squared by 4. So y squared will be equal to 4. So the answer will be what? If we set square root, so the answer will be positive or negative 2. Okay, here we have something different. What is it? Here we have 2xy, and here we have 4x. If we compare this by this, negative 2xy, and here we have 4x, okay? So what will happen? X will be eliminated by x, so it will be negative 2y equal to 4. So y will be equal to negative 2. So this is the answer. Okay. Okay, let's read this question. A furniture builder will build a number of identical tables. The builder's fee, the builder's charge can be calculated by this expression, T times K times L times W. Okay, T is the number of tables, and K is the cost of material per square foot, and L is the length of each table, and W is the width of each table. If the customer asks the builder to make the tables shorter and wider, which of the factors in the expression would it change? Of course, without thinking, we know that W is the width, and L is what? Is the length. So if you want to control the W and the L, of course, this will be the answer. Okay, let's move on to which question, okay, let's move on to 315. Which of the following is equal to x power a over b? In exponents, there is a rule, or in radicals, there is a rule that says that if you have radical like that, and you have power here, and the radical holds power here, so if you want to convert this radical expression into exponential expression, so you have to write it like that. So, of course, the answer will be A. Okay, let's move on to another question. Okay, let's read this one. The number of members of Club X is 5 times the number of members of Club Y, full stop. Okay, let's stop here. The number of members of Club X, okay, we will consider them X members, is, okay, equal 5 times what? Times the number of members of Club Y. So Club Y will have Y members. So our equation will be X equal 5Y. If 50 members are in Club X, so we will replace X by 50. So 50 will be equal to 5Y. So which of the following equations is true? Okay, it's very, very clear that the answer will be D. Okay. Let's move on to another question. Okay, let's see which one. Okay, which one I want to answer. Okay, why don't we go back, okay, to this question? Why don't we solve it? Okay, can you see this formula? This formula gives you the payment amount per period for a loan, where A is the payment and P is the principal loan, and R is the interest rate per period, and N is the total number of periods. The first question says, which of the following equations gives P in terms of A, R, and N? Okay, so he needs to know how can you isolate P? Okay, we know that P is times this fraction. Okay, why don't we just move this fraction to the variable A on the other side? Okay, it's very easy. When you multiply by any fraction and you need to move this fraction to the other side, all you have to do is flip this question. That's it. Okay, so instead of P times R times 1 plus R over 1 plus R power N minus 1, okay, so what will happen is P will be equal to A times, now let's flip this fraction, it will be 1 plus R power N minus 1 over R times 1 plus R power N. Okay, let's search for the answer. Okay, so it's very easy. It will be B. Yes, this is our answer. Okay, in our main formula, which of the following shows the adjusted formula if the number of periods were to increase by 6? So n represents, as he said, n represents the total number of periods. Okay, so if you want to increase it by 6, all you have to do, all you have to do is increase each n by 6. So the answer will be not this, not this, not this, but it will be this one. Okay. Let's search for another question. Okay, let's answer this one. This one is very easy. Okay, I will write it here to be very clear to you to answer it together. X plus 5 over 3 equal negative bracket 3 over x minus 5. If you have a fraction and you have a negative sign outside, you can adjust this negative sign to the denominator or to the numerator. Okay, I prefer it will be for the numerator. Okay, and you will see why. So it will be negative 3. Okay, so all I have to do is I will make a cross multiplication. I will multiply 3 here by negative 3, so it will be negative 9. And x minus 5, or x minus 5 only, okay? Now we know that negative is related now to 3, okay? X minus 5 will be multiplied to x plus 5. Okay, and we know that this expression is difference in squares expression. So why? Because we have here a sign and here we have the opposite sign, but the two terms are the same. Okay, so the answer will be x times x squared, and 5 times negative 5 will be negative 25 equal to negative 9. So x squared will be equal to negative 25 will move here by positive. So negative 9 plus 25 will be 16. And x will be equal to square 16. So x will be equal to positive or negative 4. But the condition of this question is x greater than 0. So x will be equal to 4. So that's it. This is our answer 4. Okay, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope really that you really get so many benefits and remembered some rules from this video. Don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to share it to home self-study students that like to study by themselves. And goodbye.